Hey everybody, it's Richard Smith and I'm here with my honest review of the DB500 from MMLJ. So sit back, this might be a long one. So first off, this is not a sponsored video. MMLJ has not sponsored me in any way, shape, or form. I will give my honest review. There are some good things, there are some bad things. There's some things they might like, there's some things they might not like to hear. So that's out of the way. This is definitely 100% honest of an experienced user. I have two DB500 units. One is a 2015 with a Kubota motor, and the other is a 2016 with a Caterpillar motor. I honestly prefer the Caterpillar motor over the Kubota. It gets better fuel economy, it is vastly quieter, and it puts out the same amount of air. They're both great machines. I just have the two little pluses. It gets better economy and the quieter running of the Caterpillar over the Kubota. As far as pros for these machines, they're very, very mobile. We've done everything from go out to rural farms to blast on an actual lake where we had to pick the unit up and put it on a barge and ship it across the lake and pick it up again with a crane. So they're very, very, very mobile. Anywhere you could think to get one of these, you can get it. As long as you can back up a trailer pretty good, you're definitely going to be able to get it in there. They're pretty reliable. You have to keep up with your maintenance, but for the most part, I haven't had very many problems. I haven't had any problems with the actual pot or any of the sandblast equipment. The only problems or issues I've really had has been with the hydraulic lines on the Kubota motor. I've had some leaks here and there, and Atlas Copco has been very good about trying to help me figure out where these things are leaking. We've placed hose after hose after hose. We finally got it all leaked. We found one little bitty pinhole leak way up at the back in the cooling side of the air compressor end of it. So other than that, it's just been regular maintenance. Change the oil, change the filters, put clean fuel in it, we're good. Versatility wise, it's just like anything. I mean, you have to use the right media and you can blast pretty much anything you want with these. We use crushed bottle glass. We have 7100 and 4070 that we use. We blast cars, we blast trucks, we blast industrial equipment, we blast farm equipment, trailers, everything from old antique furniture. We blasted a table, a wood table from the late 1800s, I believe it was. We blasted some tin sheets from 1902, I believe. We did a fire truck from 1910. So we did some really old stuff, and then all the way up to present day. I mean, we blasted brand new equipment that was just the wrong color. So they wanted to make sure they got it all the way back off and went right back to it with crane booms, with some of our big water pumps that we blasted, things like that. The media used is really, really important. If you pick the right media, you can blast just about anything. As far as blasting goes, there's not anything super, super special about this unit. It's the same unit you see on TV that they add water to and they blast a car. I don't blast cars wet. It's something we don't do. I'll talk about that in another video, but it's just something that I don't agree with, so we don't do that. But as far as blasting dry, we blasted everything. Blasting's blasting. If you use the right equipment, pretty much all blasters work the same. These are pressurized blast pots, so they tend to be a little more efficient. So you do use a little less media with these than other ones. But as far as the end result, it's mainly in the nozzle and the technique of the person doing it. Some of the cons that we've had over the past 3 years and probably close to 2,000 hours over two different machines. The trailers are not great. I know these are older units and the new trailers may be a little bit better. I know they've eliminated the high boy trailers like we have, so I know the new ones are much, much lower to the ground and a lot easier to get on and off of. So that eliminates one of the problems. The other problem we had is the second that we get these trailers, we change the tires because MMLJ gives you terribly cheap tires and they're just not. They're not very reliable. They're not even, in my mind, very safe to tow these things with. So we upgraded the tires instantly. Service has not been great with MMLJ. We've had much better luck with Atlas Copco on figuring out how to fix any issues we've had with our machines. We had on the Kubota machine, there's an electric panel that controls everything. We had one of those go out. They were real helpful in getting us. It was within 30 or so hours of having the machine. So Atlas Copco stepped up and just swapped out the part right under warranty, no cost to us. We had an employee actually put engine oil on the compressor side of one of our units. We caught it really early. Atlas Copco was right there with us, showed us exactly what we needed to do to flush out everything and make sure everything was back to good. Redid all the oil, all the filters were changed, and everything's running nice and smooth now. As far as the assistance you get from MMLJ, I think they're trying to work on getting better, but for the past few years it's been really lackluster. You can go online and research them and look at their reviews. I think they do the best they can, they're just not very helpful as far as what needs to be done to repair the actual compressor side of it. I'm sure they know what they're doing on the sandblasting side of it. None of that's given me any issues. I blasted 2,000 hours in 3 years and never had a sandblasting issue that I couldn't just figure out. I had a Parker valve go out. That's just a wear issue. That's nothing on a down part of the actual machine itself. So that's just something that's going to happen. The other major con is selling the business itself. Mobile sandblasting is not something somebody just off the street knows exists. When someone says, hey, I do sandblasting for a living, the very first question is usually, oh, where do you do it? We don't do that. We don't have a location. We go out. So it's definitely on the pricier side of sandblasting. Typically, an in-house blaster is going to beat your price. What you're selling isn't the actual blasting. You're selling the mobility of it. Blasting is blasting. If you send it somewhere and they use the same exact media you use, if you have two guys blasting with sand, it's going to look like two guys blasting with sand. If you have two guys blasting with glass, one may have a little bit different style, but you're going to get pretty much the same finish as long as both people know what they're doing. You can easily mess up anything, being wet, dry, whatever. You can mess up anything. So if you have somebody who doesn't know how to use their equipment, you're definitely going to have a bad product. For the most part, if you get two guys that know exactly what they're doing and they're using two completely different pieces of equipment, the end result's probably going to be pretty close. If you're using a Klimco pot compared to an MMLJ pot, nobody from the naked eye is going to be able to tell afterwards. From a business standpoint, the pressure pots are a little bit more efficient, but from a cost standpoint, MMLJ is very, very proud of their equipment. I believe when we bought ours 3 years ago, they were well over $40,000. They were 45 or 47 after taxes, something like that. Now I think they're pushing in the mid to low 60s. Very, very costly. Granted, they're great equipment and they're the best, the gold standard as far as a lot of people are concerned. But you can build one of these for much cheaper than you can buy one. And then a lot of people have gone out and bought these and then figured out, man, blasting's that's a hard business. So they ended up selling their units. So then you can pick one up for about half of what, maybe a little more than half, between 35, 40,000. And that's huge. Sometimes you get somebody that's desperate and they'll sell something for a little bit less than that. But on the used market, I think they're going for between, let's say just 30 and 40. And new, they're going between mid 50s. I've seen these things go $80,000, $90,000. People get a bunch of different options with them and things like that. So you really have to evaluate: is this market enough for that payment of your equipment, or do you have enough work lined up? Do you know enough about sandblasting to be able to justify that side of equipment? The other thing is these trailers are not light. I know I see a lot of people putting pictures of them pulling them with half tons. I even seen a picture of a guy pulling one with like a Colorado, the small mid-sized truck. I know the smaller units that they're selling now, the lightweight unit ones. They're a little bit lighter, but if you're getting these big units, these DB500s, DB800s, you need a 3/4 ton truck because they weigh in. Like mine's rated for 11,500 pounds, and that's way too much weight to put behind a half-ton pickup. So make sure you have the right equipment to tow your trailer with before you go out and spend 50, 60 grand on a piece of sandblasting equipment and you have no way to tow it. As far as maintenance, they're pretty standard. Change the oil, make sure your air filters are clean, make sure your fuel filters and fuel oil separators, your water oil separators, are changed regularly. I do mine every 250 hours. I change the compressor oil about every, depending on what kind of environment I've been in, 500 to 1,000 hours per the manufacturer's spec. If you have a different unit than what I have on mine, make sure you check your manufacturer's spec. Don't just go by what I'm saying. But for the most part, I change my engine oil in both Caterpillar and the Kubota every 500 miles. I change the compressor oil, or hours, and then I change the compressor side every 1,000 hours. I change all the filters whenever I do any kind of fluid change. So if I do an oil change, I change the air filters, I change the oil filters, I change all 3 fuel filters. If I do a compressor change, I typically do that at the same time I do an oil change. I change oil, air, fuel, water separator, and then I change my compressors, the internal filter and the external filter. Now with the external filters, make sure you go back to your manufacturer and buy that filter from the manufacturer. Those filters are rated for much, much higher bar rating, which is the pressure that they can withstand, than you can get at like a Napa or an AutoZone or off eBay or anything like that. Don't chance skimping on that one filter. The other stuff you can pretty much get from Napa or AutoZone or wherever you can find it, but on that specific filter, and I'll put a picture up, do not skimp on that one filter. You'll have a major catastrophic failure, and usually the manufacturer won't warranty anything if you don't use that particular filter because of the bar rating on that filter. Overall, it's a good unit. I can't really say anything bad about the unit. It's solid, it runs, it's fairly quiet. The service from MMLJ hasn't been great. I've seen a lot of guys have a lot of headache, a lot of issues, multiple calls, just trying to figure out one little simple thing that they got shut down at a job on. I'm here in Texas, real local. MMLJ is like an hour away from where I am, so if they won't pick up the phone, I just drive over there with my trailer and have them look at it. So I haven't personally had a whole lot of issues with them, but I've seen and heard people tell me that when they're out of state, they don't have any kind of support. So I think MMLJ is trying to address this. I know they've added some support staff to do technical calls. Whether or not that helps a whole lot, I don't know. I know they are almost zero help on the compressor side. So if there's something wrong with your compressor, call that manufacturer, don't call MMLJ. They don't tend to know a whole lot about the compressor. That's not their business. If you have any issues with the sandblasting side, call them. But for the most part, the compressor, go straight to the manufacturer. So I hope this helps. I know I've had good luck with them. I know some people have had really good luck with them. They're very, very expensive. If you have the money, definitely evaluate your situation. For the most part, very reliable. They work. Haven't had any issues. They run in the heat, they run in the cold. You just gotta watch your actual media. But other than that, it's a pretty good system. I don't know if I would buy another one at full price. If I find one used, I will probably look at that. But I honestly probably will not buy a brand new one. That's my honest opinion. Some people may disagree. If you do disagree, or if you have no more questions, put a comment down below. I hope this helped make any decision, make you lean one way or the other. Feel free to ask any more questions. You can subscribe, hit the little bell below, and we'll see you next time. Thanks.